This is One on One.
That's good acting, man.
I get that a lot. I go to Atlantic City all the time, like, are you the guy? I go, no, I'm not.
This is one you can't afford to miss.
They thought that I wouldn't survive it, but I knew I would.
Welcome to One on One. I'm Steve Adubato. I want to introduce you to a very special young man. His name is Kerry Magro, social media consultant with a great organization called Autism Speaks. That website will be up throughout the segment. Hey, Kerry, how you doing?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
I got to tell you something. You've accomplished a great deal. When you were about 2.5, right?
Yeah.
There were some things going on with you. You were not verbal, if you will, okay, as a kid, and they realized that something was changing or something. And look, that's not you.
Ooh, that is me.
And that is about the cutest baby picture I've ever seen.
Thank you.
So you were diagnosed with autism,
Yes,
okay? Now there's a spectrum, right?
there is.
Explain that to folks before we get into all the things you're doing. By the way, congratulations on the fact that you're going to graduate school in a couple of weeks, and at Seton Hall University, all terrific things are happening. You're a superstar. We know all that. But go back a little bit. Tell us what the spectrum of autism is.
There's a very wide spectrum to autism as we have in today's society. When I was diagnosed with autism when I was 4 years old with a specific type of autism called PDD-NOS, which stands for Pervasive Developmental Disorder Not Otherwise Specified. And that's just one part of the large spectrum that autism has. And autism can range from anyone who is high functioning, which can mean anything from being very verbal, to low functioning, which might mean that you do not have speech or a lot of ability to use communication.
Well, you're very
at all.
highly functional, very verbal. That's you.
Yes.
Okay. So when you were it's interesting, when in school, in your sophomore year, you actually started a student organization called?
Student Disability Awareness. And pretty much our mission on our campus was to help eliminate barriers of any ignorance or anything involved with our students, where they could just learn to be more aware of individuals with disabilities and just really understand that equality is very important on a college setting.
Why'd you do that?
I did it because when I was a freshman going into a new university, which I didn't necessarily think had a great deal of disability support at first. I just saw it as an opportunity. There was never an organization on our campus before that focused on disability awareness. So I thought this would be great. This would be the first. And hopefully, once I graduated, which I did, it would carry on to help other individuals going through the same things that I did. And it is. So I couldn't be happier.
Were you always a natural born leader? Because that's leadership.
My parents always say leaders are bred, not born that way. But
It's natural in you, huh? But you saw a need and you jumped in.
Yeah.
And that's the way
basically.
you've always done it. And let's talk a little bit about what you're doing now for Autism Speaks. By the way, describe Autism Speaks as people log on to the website. What a great organization.
It's phenomenal. Clearly phenomenal. Autism Speaks mission, they've been around for almost about 6 years now. And their mission is really just to focus on the research, focus on helping spread autism awareness, but also just helping anyone in particular who really needs it. And I actually started with them a few years ago and have been going strong ever since.
What are you doing with them now?
Right now, my title, as they let me pick the title, which was really cool, is social media consultant. And
You like that big fancy title?
I do.
What does it really mean?
For me, it means to, I do a bi-weekly blog for Autism Speaks on their official blog, along with helping them with any other social media aspect of their organization, such as Facebook, Twitter, and et cetera, and so forth. So that's a little bit of what I've been doing the past few years.
You know, it's interesting. The whole question of autism, the whole issue of autism, I've heard so many parents who panic, are frozen by the possibility that their child may have autism. But you explained as we started out, Kerry, that there's a whole range, okay? But in many ways, having autism, dealing with autism, while it does depend upon where you're on the spectrum, it shouldn't be, listen, the bottom line is great things are possible. Are they not?
They are, and what I usually tell parents, based on the consulting that I've done, a lot of parents have come to me and emailed me telling me their stories, and it's very emotional. Like it definitely.
What do they ask?
They ask, how can I help my son? How can I help my daughter? How can I help this individual get the best services, the best treatment, the best way to have a functional life as they're growing up? And what I usually tell them is that it is a wide spectrum. No diagnosis of autism is the same, but what I do is I share with them my own experience to help them and just show them what treatments I got, how my diagnosis went to really help them.
You know what's interesting is that your experience in college, okay, is a big part of your life, and you're actually, as we show some pictures, you've accomplished great things. In college, you were Pirate of the Year. By the way, that's the president of Seton Hall University. I'm looking at it right there, isn't it right?
Yes, it is.
And you're writing a story, your story.
Yes.
You're looking to write a book.
I am looking to write a book. I'm actually working on my first manuscript for my book right now, and I haven't figured out a title yet, but it's...
Is that one of your mentors?
Yes, it is. Michael Reuter. He's the Dean for the Leadership Development Honors Program for Seton Hall University. But to the book, my book is based on my college experience on the spectrum, and it's pretty much a self-help guide looking through my experience and then looking to help those who are going for the first time to college.
What was the biggest thing you took away, Kerry, from your college experience? Biggest lesson?
Biggest lesson, once I got to college, I never even thought that I would get to college.
Is that right?
Yes.
Why not?
I didn't think that I had the ability to go through so much coursework to really communicate and really to be an advocate for myself, to understand that I need certain things to get to the college level, and then to actually get to the college level, and then to advocate for myself to make sure that I could get through it. I just thought that it would be too difficult of a task. So pretty much from the book, it's just really explained my struggles, but then how I overcame those struggles, and hopefully it will be inspirational to others.
Kerry, describe your social interaction with others in college, because it's difficult for any kid, it seems to me. My son, who you may have met, who's interning with us, is 19 at Fordham University, and I think to myself, I remember how tough it was for me when I went away to school, and I think it's tough for him, it's tough for you, tough for every kid. Do you think it was any tougher for you?
I definitely thought early on social interaction was something that I knew I was going to have to work on. But once I got to college, what I really tried to do was try to get involved with as many organizations as possible to really try to find where I belonged. And
time out, back up. You keep talking about social interaction. You're one of the most social people I've ever had sit in this chair. I've had thousands of people sit here. You're very thoughtful, you're very engaging. So what's this thing about social interaction? What's the issue to begin with you? Were you not always like this?
Especially early on in grammar school and high school, it was just very hard for me to open up, to get myself out there, to really engage, because I'm an only child, and I was very used to just being able to get through it alone and to fight every day to try to make yourself better and to really work at it. It was really hard to keep commitments in regards to friends and et cetera and so forth. But after a while, after trial and error and practicing and just getting to know people, I really started to find a trend, and then my social interaction just skyrocketed.
Now you're writing a book, We Can't Shut You Up. You're the social media coordinator for Autism Speaks, and you're a star.
Thank you so much.
You know we're all proud of you. You have a lot of work to be done. Keep it up, all right? Don't get full of yourself. Okay? Kerry Magro is a social media consultant with Autism Speaks, and he's a first-class young man. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Weeknights at 7 and 11:30 p.m. on NJTV and 12:30 a.m. on 13.